If you're thinking about buying a home in Hampton Roads in the next 90 days, whether that's Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Norfolk, Suffolk, or anywhere in between, this video is built specifically for you. One of the most common things I hear from people who reach out to me is, I keep seeing homes I love, but by the time I try to do something about it, they're already gone. That's not bad luck, that's a missing plan. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through an exact 90-day timeline, what to do in what order, so that when the right home shows up, you're not scrambling, you're ready. If you're new here, I'm Kerry Tanner with Coastal Realty. Every week, I talk to first-time home buyers who are lost and confused on the process and where to start. Helping first-time home buyers navigate the buying process takes patience and experience, and it's one of the most favorite parts of my job. So let's get into it. 90 days is the sweet spot for most buyers I work with. It gives you enough runway to be intentional without dragging things out so long that the market changes around you. Here's how we're going to break it down. The first 10 days are your planning phase. We do the work up front so that everything after is easy. You have up to 80 days of home shopping, which is actually your biggest window of opportunity. Most people rush past planning and end up shopping confused. We're flipping that, and the final 30 days is your closing period. Once you're under contract, there's a process, and we'll walk through that too. The goal isn't to rush you. The goal is to make sure you're prepared so you can move with confidence when the right home shows up. Before we talk about any home in any neighborhood, you need to understand one thing: what monthly payment actually works for your life. Not a number some calculator spits out, not a lender maximum, your real number based on what you actually spend every month. Here's what I want you to do. Day one, pull up your last 2 or 3 months of bank statements and just map out where your money is going. Income in, expenses out. Think of things like groceries, subscriptions, car payments, going out to eat, hobbies, all of it. This step matters because buying a home in Hampton Roads comes with costs that people don't always account for. Things like HOA fees in certain communities, flood insurance, which is very real in parts of this area, higher utility costs in a larger home, and property taxes that vary city by city. Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Norfolk, Suffolk, they all have different tax rates that affect your payments. A knowledgeable lender will factor those in. Make sure yours does. The number you come out of this exercise with is what you bring to your next conversation, your lender call. Okay, before you even pick up the phone to call a lender, I want to walk you through something because this is one of the biggest misconceptions I run into with buyers, and it keeps people on the sidelines way longer than they need to be. A lot of people think buying a home is out of reach because they don't have 20% saved up for a down payment. That number gets thrown around so much that people assume it's the rule. It's not the rule. Let me break down what your real options look like so that when you have that pre-approval conversation tomorrow, you already know what questions to ask. FHA loans require 3.5% down. An FHA loan is backed by Federal Housing Administration and only requires a 3.5% down payment, as long as your credit score is 580 or above. On a $350,000 home, that's a little over $12,000. That's a very different conversation than $70,000. FHA loans do carry mortgage insurance for the life of the loan, in which most cases affects your monthly payment. Your lender will walk you through the full picture, but buyers who don't have a large down payment saved, it's a real and widely used option. Conventional loans offer down payments as low as 3%. If you're a first-time buyer, some conventional loan programs allow as little as 3% down. Fannie Mae's Home Ready and Freddie Mac's Home Possible programs are two examples. These are designed specifically for buyers with moderate incomes and limited down payment funds. Conventional loans with less than 20% down will include private mortgage insurance, which is known as PMI, but unlike FHA, PMI on a conventional loan can be removed once you reach 20% equity in the home. Ask your lender about this distinction. VA loans, zero down payment. If you're an active duty service member, veteran, or qualifying surviving spouse, the VA loan benefit is one of the most powerful financial tools available to you. And it requires zero down payment, no down payment, no private mortgage insurance, competitive interest rates, and Hampton Roads has one of the largest military populations in the country, which means a significant portion of buyers in this market qualify for this benefit and don't even realize how much leverage it gives them. If this applies to you, make sure you're working with a lender who has real experience with VA loans. There are specific steps involved, like obtaining your certificate of eligibility, and you want someone who does this regularly. Another loan is the VHDA loan, Virginia-specific programs. The Virginia Housing Development Authority offers loan programs specifically for Virginia buyers, including some with down payment assistance built in. VHDA has first-time buyer programs, conventional and FHA loan options through their platform, and grant programs can help cover down payment and closing costs. There are income limits and purchase price caps, but for many buyers in Hampton Roads, the numbers work. This is absolutely worth asking your lender about if you're a first-time buyer in Virginia. You can also visit the VHDA website directly to see current programs and eligibility requirements. Grant programs, money you don't have to pay back. Yes, there are grant programs for first-time home buyers. Funds that help cover down payment and closing costs that you are not required to repay. These exist at the state level through VHDA and at the city level and county level and through various community and lender programs. Availability changes, amounts vary, and eligibility requirements differ, but they do exist, and buyers leave this money on the table all the time simply because they don't know to ask. Tell your lender and your agent up front that you want to know about every grant or assistance program you might qualify for. A good team will run that down for you. Hey, real quick break here. If you're enjoying this video and want a more complete breakdown of the home buying process, I recently hosted a live online buyer seminar, and I'm offering the replay for free. We cover financing, VA loans, first-time buyer programs, inspections, closing costs, and what buyers should expect step by step throughout the process. If you want to feel more prepared and less overwhelmed before buying, I think you'll get a lot out of it. The replay link is in the description below. Here's another piece that catches buyers off guard: closing costs. These are the fees associated with finalizing the loan and transferring the property. Things like lender fees, title insurance, recording fees, prepaid homeowners insurance, and escrow setup. In Virginia, closing costs typically range somewhere between 3% and 4% of the purchase price, though that can vary. On a $350,000 home, you could be looking at $7,000 to $14,000 in closing costs on top of your down payment. That's real money. But here's what a lot of buyers don't know. Closing costs can sometimes be negotiated into your offer as seller concessions, meaning as part of your purchase contract, you can ask the seller to contribute towards your closing costs. In a market where sellers have some flexibility, this is a legitimate negotiating tool, and it can significantly reduce how much cash you need at the closing table. Your agent can help you structure that request in a way that's competitive and realistic based on the current market conditions and that specific house. It makes total sense. In a multiple offer situation, it may not be the right play. That's a strategy conversation to have with your agent when the time comes. The bottom line here, Do not assume you need 20% saved before you can buy a home. Know your options going in. Ask about every program you might qualify for and let the actual math, not assumptions, determine your timeline. Now that you understand what you may need to bring to the table, day 3 is when you pick up the phone and get your pre-approval. And I want you to be clear, a pre-approval, not just a pre-qualification. They are not the same thing. A pre-qualification is a quick estimate based on a conversation. A pre-approval means a lender has actually reviewed your income, your credit, your assets, and put in writing what you can borrow. In a competitive market like Hampton Roads, sellers and their agents take pre-approved buyers seriously. Because you did your homework on day 2, you already have the context. You know what loan types exist, you know roughly what down payment options are available to you, and you know what questions to ask. That makes this conversation far more productive. There are also USDA loan options for certain rural areas in parts of this region. Your lender can tell you if you qualify. When you're done with your pre-approval, you'll know your purchase price range, your estimated monthly payment, and how much cash you'll need at closing. Bring the comfortable monthly payment number you identified on day 1 into this conversation. Tell your lender, here's where I would like to stay around with my monthly payments and work from there. But also be sure to be realistic. All right, at this step, this prevents a lot of friction, especially if you're buying with a partner or a spouse. I want you to take a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle. Left side is needs, right side is wants. Needs are non-negotiable. Number of bedrooms for your family, a garage because of where you work, a one-story home because of health reasons. Those are needs. Wants are things that you'd love to have but could live without. A pool, a fireplace, a big backyard, a newly renovated kitchen. They're all nice to have, but they should not be deal breakers. And here's something I tell every buyer. Meeting 80% of your want list is a win. Very few people, especially first-time buyers, check every single box on the first home they purchase. Most people take a stepping stone approach. The first home gets you in the door. The next one gets you closer to ideal. That's how it works for most people, and that's okay. Also, the need side, write down your budget ceiling. If $2,200 a month is the line you will not cross, that's a need. It belongs on the list. For Hampton Roads specifically, also think about commute patterns. The bridge tunnel situation is real. If you're working in Portsmouth but shopping in Virginia Beach, talk about that. Drive times matter, tolls matter, and traffic matters. Day 5 is about mapping out how you leave where you are now. If you're renting, look at your lease. When does it end? Does the timing line up with 90 days of your home purchase? If not, you may have options. You might negotiate on a month-to-month extension with your landlord, or you may look at buying out the remaining months if that math makes sense. Some landlords are flexible. It's worth the conversation. If you currently own a home and you're selling to buy, you'll want to get a listing agent involved early. Understanding what your home is worth, what you'll net from the sale, directly affects your buying budget. This is a conversation to have now, not later. Figure this out on paper. Don't leave it as a vague plan in your head. Day 6 and 7, you're putting your team together, specifically finding the right real estate agent. Here's what I'd like to tell anyone looking for an agent. Don't just go with whoever you stumble across. Ask questions. Most importantly, does their schedule work around your schedule? Are they a full-time agent? Did they work with buyers specifically in the areas you're targeting? How often are they communicating with clients? Do they actually know this market, not just real estate generally, but Hampton Roads specifically? A good agent isn't just there to unlock doors for you. Their job is to understand your contract, protect your interests, help you navigate inspections, negotiate on your behalf, and guide you through a process that has real legal and financial weight to it. You can ask friends who've recently bought for a referral. You can ask your lender, or you can ask family and friends. You can interview 2 or 3 before you actually commit. Also, just know that since recent industry changes, your agent may ask you to sign a buyer representation agreement up front. That's normal now. Read it, understand what you're agreeing to, and ask questions if anything is unclear. Day 8, a step that most buyers skip until they're under contract, then scrambling. Line up a home inspector. Good inspectors in this market get booked out. You don't want to be under contract on a home with a 10-day inspection window and find out your inspector can't get there till day 11. Ask your agent for recommendations, look at reviews online, ask how long their reports take to turn in. In Hampton Roads, given the proximity to water and humidity, you want an inspector who's thorough about moisture, crawl spaces, HVAC systems, and roofing. Okay, planning phase done. Now you get to start looking at homes, and this is where most people start, which is why most people struggle. First thing, have a real conversation with your agent before you start touring. Show them your needs versus want list. Tell them what your pre-approval number and your comfortable monthly payment is. Talk about the neighborhoods you've been thinking about or school zones you'd like to stay in. A good agent will give you honest feedback about what's realistic in this market right now. Hampton Roads has a lot of variety of neighborhoods and each changes. What you can buy in Chesapeake looks different from what you can buy in Norfolk for the same price. There are pockets of Virginia Beach that are appreciating faster than others, and some areas have high HOA or condo fees that can affect your affordability more than people realize. Your agent should help you filter all of this. Second, ask your agent to set you up on MLS alerts. The MLS, multiple listing service, is where homes are listed first before they hit third-party websites like Zillow or Redfin. Those third-party sites are often delayed by a day or two. In a market where good homes go under contract in days, that lag matters. Getting MLS notifications directly means you're seeing homes as soon as they're listed and you're getting the most up-to-date information. Third, when you're browsing online, be realistic about what you're looking at. It's easy to browse outside your budget or areas you've already ruled out. Emotional energy spent on homes you can't or won't buy is energy taken away from homes you actually can. Stay focused. I'd strongly encourage you to walk neighborhoods you're seriously considering. Drive through them, walk around them, get a feel of the streets, the activity, the proximity to things you care about, and the drive to work. Pictures don't tell everything. Hampton Roads has some neighborhoods that feel completely different from each other, even when they're just a few miles apart. And visit at least one open house, even if you're not planning to buy that specific home. There's something grounding about walking through a real house. It recalibrates your expectation and helps you get clearer on what you actually want versus what a picture tells. At some point in your shopping window, you're going to find a home that checks the boxes. That's when you move. Talk to your agent immediately. They'll help you understand what comparable homes have sold for, what the competition looks like, and what a smart offer strategy is for that specific property. Your offer isn't just a price. It includes your financing terms, your proposed closing date, your inspection period, contingencies for appraisal, financing, and more. Your agent will walk you through each piece and help you put together something competitive. The seller may accept, they may counter. That's all normal. Your agent negotiates on your behalf through that process until either you reach an agreement or you decide to go your separate ways. Once both sides agree, you're under contract, and that's a big celebratory moment. Once you're under contract, the closing process begins. Your lender and your real estate agent carry most of the weight here, but here's what to expect. Your lender will ask for updated financial documents. That's normal. Provide them quickly. Delays in paperwork cause delays in closing. Your home inspection happens early in this period. Your inspector will give you a detailed report. Based on what comes back, you and your agent can decide whether to ask the seller for repairs, a price reduction, a credit, or in some cases, walk away if there are major issues that you're not comfortable with. A title company will conduct a title search to confirm clear ownership of the property. There are no outstanding liens or ownership disputes attached to it. Your lender will order an appraisal. An independent appraiser will assess the home's market value to confirm the loan amount is supported. You'll receive a closing disclosure a few days before closing. This document shows your final loan terms, monthly payments, and all closing costs. Review it carefully and ask your lender or agent if anything looks off. Then, closing day. You'll sign final documents, funds are transferred, and you receive the keys to your new home. That's your complete 90-day game plan for buying a home in Hampton Roads in 2026. 10 days of planning and up to 80 days to find the right home. 30 days to close. The buyers I see succeed are the ones who prepare before they shop. They know their budget, they know what they want, and when the right home shows up, they're ready to act. If you're starting this process and want to talk through what's realistic in your specific price range and targeted neighborhoods, reach out to me. I'm local, I work this market every day, and I'm happy to have that conversation with you. No pressure and no obligation. The link is in the description as well as all my contact information. Drop a comment below if you have questions. I read them all. And if this was helpful, pay it forward. Share it with someone you know who's thinking about buying this year. It might save them a lot of frustration. Thanks for watching. I'm Kerry Tanner, the key to unlocking your real estate dreams.